Hello folks, well a bit of a disaster really. Done this Midland 2001 for a customer yesterday and I didn't record the most part of the tuning because it doesn't look like the memory card was properly inserted into the recording console. And then what I've done is to do the lamp on the front. So we'll switch the set on and it's got the correct lamp. Right, so we're going to look round these capacitors because I'm not sure that the output is how it should be. So the customer's changed some in the power supply, but it's just a bit lower volume than I would expect. It's not the end of the world, it's not unusable by any means at all, but it's not normal for this type of chassis. It's what kind of volume you'd expect from a Fidelity 1000, which is about 1.5 watts. Well, these are a bit more than that. So I've got the circuits in front of me. This is capacitor 146. Struggling with this memory card. Works for about 30 seconds. So the first capacitor, having taken these 5 out, is going to be 33 microfarads. So we'll get that one changed. So we're looking at this first one being 151. It says 149 on the layout, but it says 151 on the radio. And there we go. So positive is the white bit. See whether we can get that little bit more volume. You know, it's probably been overvolted. Can't really change the audio IC on these unless somebody knows where Kia 7205s can be bought. It's not the same as a TA 7205. They don't physically fit even if they're electrically the same. So that's 151. What have we got next? I think we'll do the one next to it, which is 142. And 142 is 1 microfarad. And it's got 2 choices at the end of this. It's either louder or it isn't louder. As I say, it doesn't matter. It's adequate, but it's not normal. We've already done the on the air test. That will be published. It won't change the way that is. And that's why we do the on the air test. If there's aspects I'm not quite happy about, we can do a rework before it goes back to the customer. I think we'll do 147 next, which is 47 microfarads. So 147 is there. These are all Nikon ones. That leaves us what? I think we'll put 148 in there. We're still recording, I've got my eye on it. 148. Six, 2, 7, 8, 4.7. So as I took these out, it's this particular one that I felt was leaky. I'm not going to bother checking the others. I mean, at the end of the day, it's 40 years old. It's not going to do any harm. But on the whole, I've probably only changed half a dozen capacitors ever on the Maxon chassis. It's very reliable. There's no dodgy parts. But that said, it's 40 years old and this one's been overvolted. Clearly because the customers had to change those because the heat shrink had started to shrink back, which shows it being too hot. So our last one is 146 and it's 220. We're still recording, I'm impressed. So it's very, very disjointed video. You've missed the tune-up on this for the same reason that the memory card's been playing up. But nevertheless, this radio is doing a full 4 watt and it's receiving well and properly. It certainly needed a tune-up, and it's drawing less current than it was. The on-the-air test yesterday was very successful. Deviation had been daftly set for 12.5 kilohertz. We've got lifted print there. Let's try and put that through again, and that's gone in without lifting it this time. What we're going to do, because it's lifted the print, is we'll actually solder it to the other point, because if that crack develops, there we go, that's sorted that out. Just need to solder a few points up, which I thought I was unsoldering but wasn't. Right, so it's either a bit louder or it isn't. So that's what we've changed. 146, 142, 147, 148, 151. Those 151 says 149 on the layout, but it isn't. The moment of truth. I'll use our standard replacement mic rather than the customer's, just in case there's a gain difference. So we're supposed to be doing a JWRM2 this afternoon. But I thought I'll just rework this first. Next not quite going back to the customer because he sent a Murphy base station. I'll keep those to one side so I can work out how much he owes. So we'll put one of Mr. Chippy's power leads in, and we will switch we'll put the PA speaker in, I think. Don't need to put the aerial in. See if there's a change in volume. Just in 1, 2, 3, absolutely perfect. There you go. So I'm absolutely convinced it's that one which has failed. The 1 microfarad, was it 4.7? What does it say? The 4.7 I changed is the culprit, but we've done the others as a blanket job, so that's fixed. I'm very, very pleased. So we'll just switch to ordinary. You know what, I better just check deviation. It's not used as a modulator like it would be in an AM set, and I'm only going to just talk through to the Marconi test set in front of me. Just go to channel 20, and we're just going to listen to receive. Absolutely perfect. So I'm glad it wasn't the audio IC, which you really would struggle to get. Just look at deviation. Switch on picture in picture. I'm not going to go through to the deviation meter on the test set behind. What we see on here will be adequate. Wow, it says about 1.8 when it was lying like that yesterday. Let's see what it sounds like on our walkie-talkie. Right, we'll see if we can get a few more minutes with this dodgy memory card. That was 9 minutes. We were listening to the radio, checked into the deviation meter, and there we go, testing 1, 2, 3. Absolutely fine. Shouldn't affect audio, as I said, because it doesn't work like that on most FM sets. Good. So he's changed to 2 in the power supply. We've changed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the audio amp. That's fixed that. Everything was tuned yesterday. I said the video failed to happen, like it's happening right now. So let's get the lids back on. We've already recorded the on the air test for this. I suppose I could go over this with isopropyl alcohol, make it a bit more splendid. It's not quite the right colour, but that's the customer's business. He's painted it. So once I can get this out of the way, we can move on to today's job, which is the JDB RM2. I think it's going to be a Signal 1001, which I think we've got lurking. I don't think we've got any others left of that chassis, like the ICOM ICB 1050, which is not, of course, an ICOM. Just a name, fake name. Could just as well be a Gucci ICB 1050, just as fake. Expect it's that way on. There we go. Got my eye on the record logo on the console here, which I don't normally have an eye on. But at least if we get a few minutes out of this video, at least you've seen some of it. You've seen me tune these up before when we had a similar chassis Midland 3001 2 days ago. And we've plenty more sets using this chassis to do in the future. This customer's next set is a base station. It's Murphy CBH 1500, and they are the chassis of Spirit 40F, and I bought a Spirit 40F off eBay the other day, so in a few videos time we're going to show a Spirit 40F, and you'll go, oh yes, that's the unit of the Murphy base station. Yeah, that's right. Gareth at Leeds has sent us some knobs. He's 3D printed some knobs for us, so we'll be showing those. He's done low TX40 for me. He's done pretty similar chassis, the Worldsound PT40. Every time I get those, they seem to have got knobs missing, so well done that man. There we go. So we'll put it onto the aerial, just like we did on the first video I did, which you didn't see because it didn't record. I say we've already done the on the air test, but we're just having a flick around Sunday afternoon for giggles. And into its own speaker. So I'm very pleased I've been able to restore normal volume to this just for a few capacitors. So they haven't failed of their own accord, it's because of the shenanigans it's been exposed to. Roger.
10-4.
Oh, that can't be bad. 10-4 from me in Ancaster. Well, that was a half-hearted 10-4, wasn't it? How many times do we do that and there's nobody on? Well, there we go. Right, well, the on-the-air test's already recorded, so this can go back to the customer after I've done his Murphy CBH 1500. We're going to do the JWRM2. I think it's going to be a Signal 1001 that we've got lurking. So thank you for watching a very short, disjointed bit of video on this Midland 2001, which has had a full service, believe it or not.